Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Cancer energy. And for this round, we are using the Zodiac 108 deck from Intuit Oracle. So we'll get some of these cards out, try to interpret the message of what might be going on in Cancer energy, might get some clarifiers on it, and we're going to read it from both perspectives because people have free will. Some people are harnessing high vibe Cancer energy. They're making decisions out of love and hope and faith and belief in themselves. And other people are maybe don't have that hope and faith and belief. And they could be making decisions more out of their shadow nature of fear or insecurity or just got life lessons to learn and they're kind of immature. And they could be using their emotions manipulatively. So let's go see. We have the yes card, the one card. It kind of reminds me of the sun card. People want to have new beginnings. Are they going to have new beginnings with the sword of scales here, which shows the scales of justice, which is Libra energy? What type of new beginning are people going to have in their life that they think is just and fair? Is it to operate from defensiveness or pride or ego, or is it of love? Constellation talks about network, support, socialize, arrangement, a collection, exchanging data, influence, in connection with a large amount or quantity. Hopefully some people are getting balanced within themselves. I think that when we're in our shadow nature, we're kind of scattered energy. We could make decisions one day from our mind, one day from our passion, one day being practical and logical, because love is what unifies us, right? And if we have a common goal within ourselves to make decisions out of love and respect for ourselves and hope and faith and belief in our dreams, that keeps us unified, and it keeps, if people are in relationships where everyone's doing that, it helps keep the relationships unified. And when people aren't making love for themselves and love the primary driving force in their life, I think they're scattered. And they could look to others outside of themselves to make them feel stable and secure and loved because they haven't learned to love themselves. And the constellation card there definitely reminds me of the Aquarius card. Some people in pride and ego think it's just and fair to make their life about either being the center of attention or making their life about looking very successful in life. And they're still aligned with their more worldly nature focused way of being instead of their more creative, inspired, and seeing life from a higher perspective. Then we have unlikely, summer, fishhook, rainbow, and train. And the reason for the reading is within a few weeks. So, within a few weeks, people will have maybe taking action in their life. And we'll kind of see where different people are at in their life. Are they balanced within themselves? Have they tempered their more fearful, egotistical, or emotionally defensive nature to see life from a higher perspective? Or do they still think it's just and fair to make their life about the world? Interesting. Let's do a group clarifier for the yes, the sword of scales, and the constellation card. Oh, okay. Six of Swords in reverse, Page of Pentacles in reverse because of the Four of Swords. We either meditate on the truth and we see the truth and we've healed from our past pain and heartbreak, or our past pain and heartbreak and our illusions are still driving our life. We either see the truth and move forward in truth and love, or in our pride and ego and maybe emotional defensiveness or immaturity, we think we know better. So right now, because the reason for the reading is within a few weeks, people right now are meditating on what they're going to do. Some people are meditating on truth. Some people are still making decisions out of pride and ego, and that's the lens that they view life through, maybe living more from their mind than their heart. I would say that the people who are living more from their mind than their heart, those people have mental conflict, but they're not willing to move forward in truth. They're not willing to learn lessons in life. They're not willing to start fresh, start new. They want to keep doing life the way they've done it. And the people who are meditating on the truth are seeing the truth about people who don't see life from a higher perspective, who maybe aren't willing to invest in them, who keep upside down. The Six of Swords is Aquarius energy. The Page of Pentacles is Earth sign energy of Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. If you know people who don't move forward in truth because they're in reverse, cards can mean that people are motivated by negative emotions. And in Pentacle energy and Earth sign energy, that can be people who are very aligned with their worldly nature. You know, it is about image and status and money and materialism and pride and ego and looking like a shining star. And, you know, we all perceive life the way we perceive it based on, you know, how we've been indoctrinated in life and how we grew up and how we view the world. You know, you're seeing the truth that there's some people that, you know, you can't move forward with and you can't have a new beginning with because their dreams are different than yours. They're motivated and inspired maybe by different things than you are. You're motivated and inspired by love, a higher truth, a higher justice. Some people think the only truth and justice to aspire to is what the world says. It's money, it's ego, it's image. They don't maybe think there is any other higher truth or justice to aspire to. You know, you view life differently. Even though it can be heartbreaking, we have to see the truth and not be an illusion in order to move forward in life. And other people maybe reject the truth. They don't think it's about learning lessons in life or starting fresh or building upon the foundation that they grew up upon with. It's to keep building on the same foundation that they had, keep doing things the way that they've always done it. To them, that makes practical, logical sense. So that can be the difference between some people are manipulated by the world and some people keep love as the primary driving factor in their life. And then again, what do we love? Some people love the things of the world and some people love, you know, making their life more than just the things in the world. You know, we all want stability and security in our life, but we're going to let that dictate our life and make decisions based on that instead of listening to our heart and our intuition? Some people are, some people aren't. Tell us about the unlikely and the summer card. Seven of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Empress energy because of the Hierophant card. The Hierophant Taurus Earth sign energy card can be about how we view relationships, our underlying philosophy of life by which we make decisions. Some people's underlying philosophy of life is all about the world. Taurus energy can be about putting in work and effort to be surrounded by luxury in life, to have people look up to you and admire you because of these things of the world that you have. And that's what some people are investing in. Mentally and emotionally, that's their truth. And they keep aligning with that and kind of juggle giving birth to anything new or being loving, because the Empress energy in high vibe about being bold and brave and creative and balanced and loving and creative and inspired and willing to give birth to new things. And some people are like, I don't know if I want anything to change, because Taurus energy also, you know, our underlying philosophy of life that we have. Why do we have those philosophies of life? Why do we value certain things and not value other things? Probably because of relationships and how we've grown up in life. And some people are defensive to making their life about love and hope and faith and belief because they're so attached to investing in things of the world, which can be, appealing to their more egoic nature. And so sometimes people who are like that, they get in relationships and they juggle people in their life, even if those people are loving, because they maybe operate more from their mind and their heart, maybe driven a little bit more by ego and materialism and investing in love. They could get hurt doing that if they invest in operating from pride and ego and money and materialism, and they kind of juggle people in love. Well, then it's kind of like they don't really have skin in the game, and if it doesn't work out, oh well, I have a certain status and image that I've built up in the world, or the way the world views things. If I have money and materialism, oh well, if that doesn't work out, I still maybe will be viewed a certain way, and I'll rely on that. And if loving people in my life who want to make their life about believing in something more, and they want me to view life differently and see life from a higher perspective and go on a journey of love, I don't know about that. I might just let them go. Emotionally, the fish card reminds me of the Pisces suit. And our Pisces energy, we can either have illusions about what it means to be in relationships. Some people have the illusion that they can just juggle people and not really invest in people. That they can be stubborn and prideful and defensive, and, shadowy Empress energy and shadowy Libra Taurus energy can be people who think it's just and fair to make their life about being stubborn and prideful and egotistical and materialistic. And other people should just want to be in a relationship with them because they might have status or materialism. And if you're not willing to just work on maintaining your balance in a relationship with them, or making sure that you maintain balance with them in a relationship, that could be how they view relationships. Other people put in work and effort to balance things out with me. I don't put in work and effort with love to balance things out with them. I'm kind of stubborn and prideful and defensive. It's like, okay, well, if that's how you view relationships, some high vibe people might have tried to put in work and effort to balance things out with them for a while, but they have a different philosophy of life, and their intuition is calling them to come up out of their emotions and their illusions about people, and to keep believing in their dreams. If this person has a different view of life and relationships and what they value and are motivated by, that's fine. Everybody's got free will. You do life the way you want. High vibe people are like, nope, something else has a hold of me. Love and hope and faith and belief. I don't want to stay in a relationship with someone who doesn't really invest in me, someone who's stubborn and prideful and invests in being defensive and juggling. Not for me. I wish you peace. I'm moving on. Tell us about the fish hook and the rainbow. Two of Pentacles, Six of Wands. What some people are hooked by is the dream of juggling people and operating from pride and ego. That's like their dream. For some, it could be to be in a relationship, to align with their more worldly nature, because the Two of Pentacles is Capricorn. And, Capricorn is earth sign energy, and it can be about building a legacy in the world. Some people, their dream is to live their life more from their worldly, egoic nature and make their life about money and materialism. That is their dream. And other people are like, I dream of more than that. because I think that's being in shadowy Leo energy, which is being kind of competitive and I don't know, I would say it's like not knowing your worth and value, you know, and having a lot of inner conflict, but not taking creative inspired action to get out of your inner conflict about love. And did any of us think when we were children that, oh no, I'm going to juggle people and I'm going to make my life about money and materialism, and loving people can just leave my life? I'm kind of stubborn and prideful and egotistical, and it has to be all about me, and I don't really invest in people. I don't think that was anybody's childhood dream to be like that. But because of maybe past pain and heartbreak where they thought they were going to move forward with other people who didn't invest in them, they got hurt, and they've been emotionally defensive and in their pride and ego ever since then. And it's kind of like, I'm not going to invest in anyone again. I've given up on my dreams. People have hurt me before. It's like, well, okay. If you want to give up on your dreams, you can, and you can operate from defensiveness if you want. Other people take creative, inspired action about the fact that they've been hurt before, and they get out of their pride and ego and emotional defensiveness, and they're bold and brave and confident to maintain their balance so they don't tip into their shadowy nature of being defensive and fearful and all that good stuff or bad stuff. And they put in high vibe Capricorn energies about putting in the work and effort to free yourself from your fear, your insecurity, your past pain and heartbreak, so that you can be free. So you can go pursue your dreams, and you don't let unloving people from your past keep you from believing you can manifest your dreams into reality. That would be, negative energy kind of getting another team player. And you're like, some people succumb to that. And in their pride and ego and emotional defensiveness, they gave up on their dreams and decided to maybe operate from pride and ego, and like, I'm willing to ignore love or not invest in love. I'm going to make my life all about money and materialism because the world will give me a stamp of saying they view me as successful, even though I'm not willing to be open and authentic and loving, and I'm not willing to take bold creative action in my life to free myself from my fears and insecurities or my emotional defensiveness. So they basically, shadowy Capricorn energy is like living a life of imprisonment, being depressed and limited and restricted and confined because of your ego or your fear. And high vibe people are like, I'm not staying in relationships because of money or image or status or whatever. If you're defensive to putting in work and effort to free yourself, to be loving, then I wish you peace. I'm moving on. And you could have all the people in your life. You could be in relationships. You could have, your friends, your family, whoever. It could just be some people in the world who won't be moving forward with you because they just see life differently than you. They're motivated and inspired by a different view of life. Again, some people see life from a higher perspective. They have hope and faith and belief that they can heal. They have hope and faith and belief that, in change. Some people don't want things to change. They like things the way they are. They like the status quo. They don't want things to change. They kind of keep trying to make things be the way they've always been, because otherwise they would have to maybe see things differently, and they don't want to. It causes them mental conflict. So they keep doing the things that they've always done. Tell us about the Train card. Some people are hooked emotionally on the world. For some of them, wanting to align with other people who make their life about the world. For some of them, it specifically could be a Capricorn, and they want to go have a relationship with that person. And if they had other people in their life who were loyal and just and fair and committed, they're juggling that person because their dream person they want to be in a relationship is someone who makes their life decisions based more on ego and materialism and the status quo instead of about love, because that they're more on the same page as them. That's how they view life. So tell us about the train card. Everybody believes that the way they view life is what is going to move them forward in the way that they want to move forward in life, what they value, what they're inspired by. Tell us about the train card. Some people are defensive to being just and fair and loyal and committed in relationships because they're defensive to being just and fair in relationships. They like to be someone who operates more from pride and ego and kind of juggles people. Like, I'll present myself as being, loving and just and fair and all those things in the world. But in the relationship, my dream relationship is for me to be either self-centered and everybody orients around me in the relationship. Everyone else puts aside their pride and ego, but not me. I'm egotistical. I could be manipulative. I could be controlling. And they maybe think it's just and fair. Maybe that's how they view relationships. Tell us about the train card. Some of them want to invest in a relationship with a Capricorn who has a lot of money and materialism. Again, aligning with the world and money and materialism, either within themselves and wanting to get in relationships with other people, or wanting to be in a relationship with other people who juggle loving themselves. Because if they juggle and aren't sure if they believe in themselves, if they love themselves, then this person can kind of manipulate and control them. Perfect. You're my perfect partner. Do you not love yourself? Great. Let's get in a relationship. Are you not sure if you believe in yourself and that you can manifest your dreams into relationship, into reality? Perfect. Let me indulge in a relationship with you. We're either open and honest and loving in a relationship and truthful, treating other people the way we want to be treated, or we want to indulge in a relationship. Some people aren't willing to be just and fair and see life from a higher perspective. It's all about them, their wants, their needs, their lusts, their greed, their ego. And they want to be in relationships with people that they can control and manipulate. And people who don't want to be in relationships like that listen to their intuition. And they took time to see life from a higher perspective about the relationships or workplaces that they were in. They maintain their own balance to put in the work and effort to stay balanced within themselves so that they wouldn't be tempted to allow other people to play on their fear, their insecurity, their codependency, their lust, their greed, whatever. And those people overcame people in their life who tried to manipulate and control them and keep them in competitive energy or conflicted energy so that they could keep indulging in a relationship with them. And the high vibe people had hope and faith and belief and love, and the divine got a hold of them, pulled them out of that situation emotionally, and now they've picked up their investment within that, and they're maintaining their balance as they move forward. The high vibe people in high vibe Sagittarius energy have been balancing out their strong emotions and educating themselves, because Sagittarius and high vibe is about educating yourself. And those people have emotionally been growing and maturing themselves, because I look at the queens in tarot as our emotional state, whether we're male or female. They went within to gain insight and wisdom from their past life experiences, to grow and mature themselves, to not be as naive as they were in the past. And those people are taking creative, inspired action to take a leap of faith. And they're kind of standing in their inner child truth about and willing to put an end to being in a mental prison and being in a relationship with other people who are in a mental prison about love and being loving. We either see the truth, that people are open and honest or loving, or we stay in illusion about them. And they want us to stay in illusion about them. And I was like, no, I'm no longer in illusion. When people are in a relationship, they have the free will choice to be open and honest and loving, or they take a risk to repeat some poor patterns of the past because they don't want to be just and fair. They don't want to deal with their own fears and insecurities or self-centeredness or emotional defensiveness. And they keep repeating patterns of the past. It's like, okay, I see you're not ready to move forward with me. I'm putting an end to people who are in a mental prison about love. I've learned the lesson I was meant to learn from being in a relationship with people like that. And I'm moving forward and taking a risk to have hope and faith and belief that I can manifest my dreams. And I'm protecting myself in that pure, innocent, loving nature because I don't want people in my future who backstab and betray me. And when you're in relationships with people who don't trust other people, who are self-centered, who want you to make them the center of your universe instead of both of you having hope and faith and belief that you can manifest your dreams into reality, they try to sabotage you and stop you from believing in yourself because then they can't indulge in a relationship with you. Because they're not willing to put in the work and effort to free themselves from their own fears and insecurities. And the other people, they are in a mental prison about love. And so they're going to go try to balance things out, aligning with their more worldly nature and align with other people in the world who might be more emotionally focused on money and materialism, and someone who might have money and materialism. Someone who might be communicating to them saying, don't put an end to your fear and insecurity. Come align with me and keep repeating this pattern of relationship. It's just like our ego. Our ego nature doesn't want us to believe in ourselves because then our more immature, indulgent, selfish, greedy nature can't live our life. We love and believe in ourselves, and we go align with other loving, kind, respectful people, mature people, and just like we have this dualistic nature and we have this spiritual warfare within ourselves. Do I listen to my more immature, codependent, fearful, insecure nature, or do I listen to my loving, hopeful, believing nature? Well, there's different people in the world too who align with either side of ourselves. There's people in the world that try to tempt us to get in relationship with them to make our life about not believing in ourselves, because then they can indulge in a relationship with us for their own selfish, greedy, competitive, prideful reasons. And there's loving people in the world who want us to believe in ourselves, who want us to love ourselves, to quit repeating patterns that aren't healthy for us. Some people are tempted to align with thinking it's just and fair to be in a relationship maybe with someone who will indulge them not growing and maturing themselves, or being in a relationship with someone because it makes them look successful in the world, maybe materialistically, and that's what they're going to do. And they are going to continue to invest in being defensive, to being balanced and just and fair and loyal and committed within themselves and aligning with their more loving nature. And when they are defensive to aligning with that nature within them, those are the type of people they also reject. I'm not doing that. I'm going to align with my more worldly nature, thinking I really don't have to invest in love and I can still get everything I want. Everything will work out okay. They think I can have my dreams come true in the world. But that's like the devil, right? The devil's like, come on over here. I'll give you everything of the world. Everything will be great. You'll have status. You'll have image. You'll look very successful in the world. We'll move forward. But the only thing is, our shadow nature and the devil whispering on our shoulder isn't being truthful and honest, doesn't want us to grow and mature, and the devil backstabs and betrays people, right? And if we keep being tempted to align with other people who tempt us to indulge in our more immature or lustful, greedy, selfish nature, they have their own ulterior motives. Maybe they want you to reject the loving people in your life so you'll come align with them. They look like they're the winner, and maybe they're very competitive, or maybe they're controlling and manipulative. And some people are going to take a risk to go repeat patterns of the past because of their fears about, maybe fear of someone, if they don't have loving people in their life right now, it's like, well, I don't know if I'll have loving people in my life. This person seems to be communicating with me, to be willing to want to work things out with me, even though my intuition and my more hopeful, believing nature is telling me, don't do that, you're going to get backstabbed. Some people want to wear a blindfold, and it's like, no, I'm in my fear, I'm in my insecurity, I don't know if someone's going to love me, I don't believe in myself or whatever, and they're going to go repeat some patterns of the past. And the person they're getting in a relationship with is probably going to move forward, taking some foolish risks in the relationship, because they're also fearful about love, and they're fearful of being backstabbed and betrayed. So two people are in a relationship now, fearful of being backstabbed and betrayed, because neither of them have hope and faith and belief in love. The high vibe people are going on a journey. They're staying here, turning their back on people who are defensive of being backstabbed and in a mental prison about love. It's like, okay, you go do what you want to do. I'm standing up for myself, and I'm putting an end to being in a mental prison about you. I see the truth, that you are fearful about love, that you keep repeating patterns of the past. I'm done with this. I'm going on a new journey. And then let's see about the few weeks card. Tell us about the few weeks card here. And you don't even have to know these people. You know, there's people in the world moving forward in high vibe. Maybe everybody you know operates in high vibe. And these are just people, you know, that you see in the community or on the news. In a few weeks... Oh, funny. The people who were sad because relationships in their past didn't work out, those people listen to their intuition from a place of love to take bold, creative, inspired action in their life, to move forward, to make, in the King of Wands, to take creative, inspired action in their life, to learn to have good boundaries within themselves and to have good boundaries with others. And to listen to their intuition about people who try to control and manipulate them, who try to restrict them, confine them, limit them, indulge in them, but not from a place of love, but out of selfishness and greed. And offer love to work through your own self-limiting beliefs so it doesn't stop you from being focused on the future and dreaming of what can be. Because we manifest our next week, our next year, our next 10 years, our next 50 years based on, if we let our fear and insecurity block us from believing in ourselves, we have to offer love to offset our own fearful, insecure nature so that we maintain balance and don't tip into our shadow nature and stop us from our dreams and keep us focused on the relationships of the past that didn't work out. If the relationships of the past didn't work out, the divine knew what was meant for us and knew the hearts of the people that we were in a relationship with. And if the divine knew that the people we were in a relationship with haven't dealt with their own past pain and heartbreak, that they operate from pride and ego, they try to indulge themselves in relationships, are defensive to being loving, and try to stop other people from believing in themselves and having a loving dream and relationship come into reality, because they fear being vulnerable and just and fair, and they think you should do the relationship their way. Well, the divine knew that. that they don't view relationships the same way you do. You know, it is more about being defensive and controlling and indulgent instead of loving. And then they try to trap and imprison you in a relationship, you know, manipulate you, hurt you, make you sad. So you'll keep trying to work on the relationship. Like you'll keep offering love to the devil instead of, you know what, I wish it peace and I'm moving on to believe in my dreams. This is not my dream relationship. And the other people, because they still let past pain and heartbreak dictate their life, they're going to keep moving forward in pride and ego and being defensive. And they're maybe going to invest in someone who has money and materialism, or just invest in the world because the devil Capricorn card can represent the world. And they've decided, you know, that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to focus on money and materialism and status and image, or I'm going to focus on indulging in relationships because in my self-centeredness, I think relationships should be all about me. People should want to look at me, maybe look how successful I am. You know, people should want to be in a relationship with me. And I should just be able to indulge myself in a relationship. You know, that's my dream relationship. Well, go find someone else to be in a relationship with, you know? And I think, you know, Scorpio, Five of Cups energy can be people who are emotionally shallow. Because they've been hurt before, they're not willing to go on a journey of living a full life. You know, willing to experience the highs and lows of life emotionally. Being bold and brave and confident to weather emotional storms. High vibe people, it's like, you know what? If I want to experience the highs of life and I want to really know and get clear about what my truth is, I'm going to probably kiss a few frogs along the way. And I'm probably going to have to deal with some pain and heartbreak. But the more I listen to my intuition and I get more clear about not letting my emotions run my life, or my lust run my life, or my fantasy land run my life, and I keep believing in myself and I keep listening to my intuition, you know, eventually I am going to manifest my dreams into reality. And part of the whole reason for it, I think, is for people to learn to stand up for themselves and take creative, inspired action, to listen to their intuition, to be bold and brave and creative, to learn to discipline themselves and to have good boundaries with others, and to operate from a place of love and not let negative people or negative unloving energies stop you from manifesting your dreams into reality, or your own lack of confidence or love for yourself stop you. We have free will. We can manifest our dreams into reality, but we have to let go of past pain and heartbreak. We offer love to pain and heartbreak, to wish the past peace. Everybody's got free will. You do you, boo. I'm moving on. So there you go, Cancer energies. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.